Good evening, I'm Scott Patterson. It's not a major storm by any means, but it should be enough to get your attention. We have some breaking news to tell you about tonight. One person has been shot in North Omaha. It happened right around 9 o'clock. A suspected drunk driver in Lincoln is facing charges. Police say he totaled 2 cars and damaged another. The cars were police cars parked outside of Lincoln Police headquarters. What they're looking at is to see how many people in Douglas County especially vote for Obama but also vote for Terry. They think that is going to be the key. It also has to fund a $1 billion+ sewer overhaul, but Bartle says some projects like a proposed streetcar system here in the Old Market can wait. 50 degrees above zero. That's what you're saying.
Not 50 below.
Okay,
thankfully.
50 above.
Yes,
that sounds nice. I tried one once. I took one bite and I literally felt my arteries clogged. So I kind of stopped. Right? It's a bird. It's a plane. It's
underdog.
No. He has no idea. Blimp. Blimp. We were looking for blimp, of course.
You're watching the Fox 42 News at 9.
Good evening, I'm Scott Patterson. Taylor Wilson has the night off.
And I'm Amanda Muller. Thanks for joining us on this President's Day. Well, tomorrow was supposed to be the day when all TV stations switched off their analog signals across the nation and started broadcasting in digital only.
Congress delayed the transition, but some stations will still make that switch tomorrow. It'll leave some in the metro without their favorite shows. Lucy Zukaitis is someone you might not expect to be affected by the digital transition.
Most people in my age group have already either had cable before or made sure to make the move.
For Lucy, a Creighton student, and her roommate Courtney, a recent graduate, rabbit ears have helped keep their budget balanced.
I guess I wasn't too worried about the transition because it seemed like it was something that was kind of in the distant future.
But after tomorrow, they won't be able to receive NBC or PBS. NET and WOWT have decided to stick to the original schedule and end their analog broadcasts.
I like to come home and watch Jeopardy after class, so it does affect that because that's kind of the only show I regularly tune into.
On the other end of the spectrum, the transition is especially difficult for senior citizens.
They like their TV, they like the news, they like their game shows.
Fred Grossman of the Bellevue Senior Coalition says switching to cable or buying a converter box is tough.
For the times that the way they are, a lot of our seniors are planning on their medication, planning on their meals, planning on other necessities, living off of a fixed income.
He says the delay is giving seniors more time to plan.
It may be a considerable amount of money for them to put out just to get TV that they're used to getting already.
It also gives Lucy and Courtney time to decide between cable or a converter box before the new deadline of June 12th.
I feel like this gives everyone enough time, but who knows if they pushed it back once, what's to stop them from doing it again?
Who knows? One of the reasons behind this delay, the government ran out of money to help people with the transition. Converter boxes run $50 and up. Now, these $40 coupons help people with that cost, but there are no more coupons available. 4 million people are on a waiting list. It is not clear if any of them will get their coupons before June 12th. If you have any concerns or comments about the digital transition, you can post them on our Facebook page, KPTM Fox News. All you have to do is click on the Facebook link at our website, kptm.com, and add us as a friend. You can then write on our wall, post photos, and even chat with us live. A patient who was transferred from the Beatrice State Developmental Center to a Lincoln hospital has died. St. Elizabeth Regional Medical Center says the medically fragile patient died today. According to the hospital, the patient developed a fever a few days after being admitted. After a week of antibiotic treatment, the patient's condition improved, but yesterday the patient developed another fever. An autopsy has been ordered to determine the cause of death. On February 2nd, the state ordered the transfer of 35 to 40 residents of the Beatrice Center who are considered medically fragile. The decision was prompted by a number of deaths at the troubled facility. An 11-month-old is recovering from a head injury. Now his dad is under arrest. 23-year-old Ryan Pruzia is suspected of abusing his infant son. Pruzia says the boy fell down some stairs. Omaha police say that's the same report Pruzia gave when the boy was injured 2 weeks ago. Police say the boy is expected to recover. Omaha police are investigating a lunchtime robbery. It happened around 12:40 at the La Casita restaurant near Park Avenue and Woolworth Avenue. Witnesses say 2 men walked in, showed a gun, and demanded money. They took an unknown amount of money and drove away in a car. Officers searched the area but were not able to find the robbers. In our first 100 days coverage tonight, it's not much more than a layover for President Obama at the White House right now. He's got miles to go to get the economy moving again, and that means more traveling and more criticism along the way from Republicans. CNN's Dan Lothian reports. Hillary Clinton is in Japan tonight for the start of an Asian tour. Clinton was greeted by Japanese officials in her first trip abroad as Secretary of State. She's due to meet Japan's Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, and Defense Minister. The goal of Mrs. Clinton's trip is to emphasize a new U.S. commitment to work with Asian leaders on global problems. Secretary Clinton will also visit Indonesia, South Korea, and China on her tour. Well, pretty nice weekend behind us here. A chance to melt some of that snow.
Yeah, but will the weather turn a little bit colder later in our work week? Nathan's now with a first look at your forecast.
It can be hard to keep germs out of hospitals. How a local one is investing in more equipment to keep you healthier. Tomorrow on the Fox 42 News at 4, do you want to turn back time physically and mentally? We'll tell you what older men are doing to make that happen.
Is celebrated throughout Latin America. Apparently, a lot of people are snatching up masks of Barack Obama.
A popular one this year.
Even more popular than the president of Brazil, her mask. So very interesting.
Very much so. Well, you might call American Idol a carnival of music, possibly.
Possibly.
Tomorrow night, you'll get your first chance to choose your favorite idols.
And tonight, we have a preview of your first 12 choices.
We'll begin to see that warm up, hopefully into the more springtime type of pattern.
A day like tomorrow, when you're looking at 41, 42, 43, do you usually just round it off to 42 just to win points with the bosses?
I could, yeah. I do.
He does it subconsciously. He doesn't even know he's doing it.
Like, that's a good idea.
My secret.
Yeah, there you go. Well, the secret's out.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Nathan.
No problem.
Well, the Jays get a much-needed win on the road this weekend, but can they keep this momentum going?
And they depict the history of Omaha, but they could be in danger of becoming history themselves. How this woman has made it her mission to save these murals, all while making the Heartland proud.
And this is typical, though, for February. Just kind of a little bit of a cool down, but nothing big at all.
Not a big snow event on Wednesday.
Nope.
Not like Friday.
No, nothing at all like Friday at all.
Okay, that's it.
Thanks, Nathan.
No problem.
That's it for us this evening.
Join us tomorrow at 4 and 9. And for all of your news updates, go to kptm.com.
See you tomorrow.
Hey Amanda, well welcome to my car where I admit I do make phone calls on my way to and from work, but myself and other people are starting to think about ways to be safer. A lot of people are just hanging up the handset and switching to different kinds of hands-free devices, but it's becoming more and more clear that even these are a danger. The National Safety Council says we can no longer ignore the statistics and studies.
We are calling for the legislatures of the 50 states to look at this issue.
Bill Mulherin of the council's Omaha chapter says 6 states already have handheld cell phone bans, but the Safety Council wants to see a ban on all cell phone use while driving, period.
The studies that are coming out are showing no difference in the degradation of your ability to drive, regardless of hands-free or handheld.
It's something that puzzles a lot of people. In this demonstration, let's say Amanda and I head out for dinner. What are you in the mood for?
I think Chinese. It sounds really good.
The passenger in that vehicle is there with you. They're also observing the environment outside the vehicle, and they'll adjust their conversation with you appropriately. They may even point hazards out.
How do we get there?
Whoa, do you see that guy?
In this second demonstration, let's say I drive to get us dinner while talking to Amanda on speakerphone.
I was thinking about Chinese. What do you think?
Oh, good idea.
The person on the other end of a cell phone conversation has absolutely no idea what's going on around outside your vehicle and cannot provide any of that assistance.
Maybe you could just run by that place that's really close to our station.
I never saw the car up ahead. But does the Safety Council really think today's call to action is going to stop this common habit?
Really, what this does is it gets people talking. It gets people thinking about it. It gets people thinking about what the risks are to themselves.
Now, Mulherin thinks a lot of people will eventually choose to hang up on their own, so by the time state legislatures get around to passing laws, it won't be so controversial anymore.
And Scott, is there any movement to pass such a law right here in Nebraska?
Well, here in Nebraska, we do have a law that says teenagers can't drive while using their cell phones. There have been proposals out there to enact a statewide ban on cell phone use, but they haven't gotten anywhere, and at this point, doesn't look like that's going to happen this legislative session. And Amanda, by the way, thanks for dinner.
Yeah, no problem. Chinese, good choice. Thanks, Scott.